Masithandaze, Nkosi senzele inceba, Nkosi senzele inceba bawethu wasezulwini, ngxoliswe igama lakho, umkani bakho mabufike, landi yakho mayenziwe, emhlabeni kwanjengasezulwini. Siphe namhlanje isonga sethu semihla ngemihla, sixolele izono zethu njengoba nathi baqola basonayo. Ungasingeniseki endweni, sinse ngohlakalweni. Amen. Masithandaze, family ngahlala phansi. Thixo okholisa ukubonisa amandla akho ngokwenza inceba nemfesane. Yamkela izikhungo nemithandazo esinikela kuwe ngenxa yemphefumulo yesicaka sakho uLitemba, ukuze ngokuba kobubomi buphelayo zilibeka phezu kuwe ithemba labo. Uziphe namhlanje indawo uqaqawuleni bakho ngoYesu Kristu inkosi yethu, hleli elawula kunye nawe nomoya oyingcwele emnye uThixo ngonaphakade. Amen. Just before isifundo sokuqala okanye isifundo ndizawucela rector walapha eAll Saints to give us the house rules. Enkosi.
Mandithathe elithuba lokuba ndibulise kumntu wonke okuyo le nkonzo kaLitemba, ingakumbi ke kumfundisi uMagongo, and also the entourage abefundisi ahamba nabo abaza kuqhuba lo msebenzi. Also a special greeting to the family of Mpambani. Dear friends of Litemba that are here present, we welcome you in this parish of All Saints. As we celebrate this life of Litemba, we pray that God, being the source of all comfort, uza kunithuthuzela ke. Namkelekile ke kule nkonzo yase All Saints. Bendazisiwe ke kuba ndinguXhandi Lomzi kaMhlonhlo, the rector of this parish. In as far as housekeeping, we are urged to adhere to the COVID-19 protocols, of which then we need to keep our masks on at all material times to also the nose. I know the temptation at times is to put it ezantsi kwempumlo. So please, at all times, but if you're suffocating also, please, people that are ushering can take you at the back so that at least you can get some air. Secondly, we need also to uphold social distancing. We need to continue to uphold social distancing, and we continue to sanitize. When you're coming to the podium or the lectern, please ensure you start by sanitizing so that when you adjust here, at least we know we are all safe. In as far as the restrooms, they are right at the back, but Umama Unelo at the back can usher you in as far as the restroom. In the foyer, you just go in through that door. The very first door on your right is going to be men's, and then on the far side of the foyer, we have the ladies. So please also ensure that when you're there, you sanitize and keep the door ajar so that abantu bangabambi i-handles zamacango. Thixo ke anibuke, Thixo ke aninike intuthuzelo esuka kuye. Enkosi kakhulu mfundisi.
Kwesi sithuba sawuthatha isifundo ukuze siqale lo msebenzi. You may continue. Isifundo.
Isifundo sokuqala sibhaliwe kwincwadi yesithilelo isahluko sama-21 sesahlukana sokuqala. Ndabona izulu elitsha nomhlaba omtsha, kuba elokuqala izulu nokuqala umhlaba udlule nolwandle alusekho. Ndaza mna Yohane ndabona umzi ongcwele iYerusalem entsha usihla uvela kuThixo uphuma ezulwini, ulungisiwe njengomtshakazi ewondiselwe indoda yakhe. Ndeva ilizwi elikhulu liphuma ezulwini lisithi, uyabona umnqoba lo kaThixo unabantu, uyakuhlala nabo emnqobeni, bona babe ngabantu bakhe, yena uThixo abe nabo enguThixo wabo. Azosule uThixo zonke inyembezi emehlweni abo, kungabi sabikho kufa, kungabi sabikho nasijili nakukhala nantlungu, ngokuba izinto zokuqala zigqithile. Waza lo uhleli phezu kweterone wathi, uyabona into zonke ndizenza ntsha. Athi kum, bhala ngokuba lawo ngamazwi ayinyaniso athembekileyo. Wathi kum, kwenzekile. Mna ndingu-Alpha no-Omega, isiqalo nesiphelo. Mna ndomnika lowo onxaniweyo emthonjeni wamanzi obomi ngesisa. Lowo wisayo uyakuzidla ilifa into zonke. Ndiyawuba nguThixo wakhe, yena ndingunyana wam.
Kwesi sithuba mandibulise uba umfundisi uMagongo, ndibulise umfundisi uGorha, ndibulise umfundisi uMiliwo, ndibulise wonke umuntu olapha ngegama lenkosi yethu Yesu Kristu. Amen. Kwifemeli yakwatata uMpambani nomama uMpambani were very close to my family. Uthi umqhayi yakutshona inqanawa imendi igcwele ngabomkhosi, ayijongise kude abe nosizi, avakala umqhayi esithi, thina nto zaziyo asothuka nganto, sibona kamhlophe sithi bekumele, sithi sawugqiba sithethe engqondweni sithi bekufanele. Agqibela umqhayi ngokuthi, lithabatheni iqhalo labadala elithi akuhlanga lungehlanga. Sizowuthi kuni ifemeli yasekhaya akuhlanga lungehlanga. Without necessarily wasting any time, shall I call upon Ulwazi Gunguluza to come and render i-item yakhe eyi-obituary. Can the house stand? Okay.
Litemba was born on the 5th of January 1998 in Port Elizabeth. Raised by a mother, Ndomzanele Mpambani, and a grandmother, Zuziwe Irene Mpambani. Her father, Wingi Lukwe, passed away at a young age. At a young age, her artistic talent was identified and she was sent to a specialist art school, Pro Arte Elfin Park in Pretoria, where she met her mentor and teacher, Mrs. Mallet, who played a pivotal part in her artistic journey. Litemba matriculated from Pro Arte Elfin Park in 2016 with distinctions in dramatic arts and design. She completed her final year in BA in Fine Arts at the University of Free State. Litemba, in her own bio, says the following: "My grandmother taught me that I should never need anyone. My aunts taught me integrity, and my mother, who has always been an anchor only to the wind, taught me how to be free." She believed that all these are important qualities for an artist to have. She believed her feminist approach to art making was inspired by the fact that she was raised by very strong feminists. Her work ethic and commitment led to a number of achievements. Her work has been collected by both the National Workers' Museum and the National Art Bank. She has participated in various group exhibitions, including the Patswana Henny New Breed Finalist Exhibition in 2019 and the Art Tech Gallery Annual Exhibition. She has also been selected as a part of the top 5 artists for the ORMS Circle Mentorship Program in 2020. Shortly before her passing, she was offered a residency in Belfast, Catalyst Online Residency. She has worked with the Thabo Mbeki Foundation and the Free State Art Collective. As recent as the 27th of April 2021, where she was announced as one of the emerging artists for Latitudes Online in program in partnership with the National Arts Council. On 24 April, her life was taken abruptly through a hit and run outside campus while walking home. Litemba is survived by her mother, outside campus while walking home. Litemba is survived by her mother, Zanele Mpambani. She leaves behind her aunts, uncles, siblings, and cousins. Lalango Xolo Chonyane, Digiz, Sao, Ngom, Mtuzmel.
AC Jordan wrote a novel titled Ingqumbo Yeminyanya. In that book, Jordan exposed a fiction that was there at the time around the royal house. But in short, he portrayed a character by the name of Mpambani to deal with a challenge. Mpambani kule meko yayikhona kwakumkani uphakama ngokuyisolve problem athi masambe nonqana siye kwanhliziyo ndise uthi siye kulanda amadoda anenyani amadoda anhliziyonye amadoda anomqolo ukuze akuchabalalise ukufa. Family yakwaMpambani ukufa kusezawuchabalala. Mhlawumbi umfundisi Magongo will take us through that journey yokuchatyalaliswa kokufa. Family yasekhaya, shall we call upon Umandisa Tabata to speak on behalf of the family? And over to you, Mandisa.
mandithathe lithuba ndibulise kuqala kumfundisi weparish ndibulise kubefundisi abakhoyo, ndibulise kumvangeli, umfundisi uDibrain, umfundisi uMagongo. Ndingayibhuda mhlambe protocol, ndiyacela uxolo, andiyazi the seniority or where should I start. Kodwa ke ndinibulisa nonke ngembeko kaZenkulu. Ndibulise kubantu abalapha enkonzweni, umama, otata, izihlobo nezalamane. And a special greeting, but a very strong hug to my sister, Uzanele, Ukuku, Mama Litemba. I'd like to greet also the student community, friends of Litemba. Let me apologize up front because I'm not going to be able to speak English only or to speak Xhosa only. I'll try and translate, but some things are better said in their own way, in their own language. So please bear with me beforehand. Solomon wakudala wathi xa sikelela isibingelo okanye itempile wathi ngexesha lendlala, ngexesha lengikitya yokufa, ngexesha lokwenzeka kwazo zonke izinto sizawukhala kuwe Thixo wena usiva usemazulwini usixolele. I wish we had an opportunity to do that, to ukhala kuThixo, because Litemba begulile would have maybe been able ukhala kuThixo, uThixo awusave ubonga Litemba. But then it tells us that maybe it was the way it was supposed to be, because besa ukhala mhlawumbe uThixo sekuyimfesane amxolele uLitemba amsave ubomi bakhe. But asikwazanga ukhala, we were not given that opportunity ukhala kuThixo asive semazulwini. Sekunjalo ke bantwana basekhaya. A little bit about uLitemba, and so sthethi kodwa ke ngizawuzama uninika a little brief about uLitemba. uLitemba uzalwa ngo-1998, ezalwa nguZanele. uZanele uzalwa nguIrene noGreen Mpambani, amachanyano sawo ngomodikizo omthuzimele. Umama wethu ingumamnywabe, uMagatyeni, umama Lundondela unkomo zibomvu. Umakhulu wethu from our father's side inguJolinkomo, ngumaJolinkomo Mampondomse. So go to AC Jordan, it's relevant because inobumpondomise obuninzi lancwadi. So sizalwa ke uLitemba ezalelwa NU5 eMotherwell. Litemba was born on the 5th of January. She's sharing a birthday with our brother uPutsandi, umfundisi uGorha. uLitemba uzalwa 6 months after our father had passed. Our father passed in July 1997. uLitemba was born January 1998. Sathi khini thiza wam nguLitemba uzosinika ithemba. After we had lost umthi omkhulu, our father, waLitemba, and you could see that our mother was healed by Litemba's presence. Kwakho some positivity around the house because kaloku simkele umuntu ongutata, we lost our father. So when Litemba was born, then she became the point of focus. She became our point of focus. She became everybody's baby. Ethanda kukutya, she loved food, eh? She loved food because she was spoiled by umakhulu. Ukhulela kumakhulu ke uLitemba. Ekhula with his siblings zakhe. So it is his siblings zakhe, because even though uLitemba is the only child kumamakhe, but because of the family structure that we have, abantwana bethu bonke bangu brother and sister. By-4 ke, when our father passed, kwakuthiwe sistinji with 4 girls. my father had only 2 grandchildren. Kuthiwe hayi bo, ngamantombazana 10 la. So uLitemba became ke ngoku another grandchild. Wongeza ke kule 2 yayiseyikhona already. So wakhula ke ekhula nomakhulu wakhe, that is our mother. And the formative years kaLitemba were from my mother, because ebehlala naye uZanele had to go and work. uLitemba imncinci, I think she was hardly a month. Then wayosebenza at Telkom. So my mother was always there. So she was the influence in Litemba's life. Wakhula ke uLitemba. There's so much about uLitemba, but ndizayinqamnqamlela bethunana. Wakhula uLitemba wayofunda St. Mark's. Then when uLitemba ufunda St. Mark's, kwabonakala uba uLitemba unesakhono. She's gifted in art. She was just, I think she was at grade 7. Then it was picked up that she's gifted in art. Her first painting was Ella Fitzgerald singing, it's at our home. And then there was a realization by her mother that no man, there's something special. This is a special child. So wayofunda ke, she was sent to a special art school. That's where she excelled. That's where she was, she soared to so much more better than what we expected. I thought hard about what do I say about uLitemba, because Litemba was my other daughter. What do I say about her without shedding tears? Because this has been a very painful period. What do I say? Akobuciko, there's no wisdom. You can't be wise about it. We have lost, and we are pained by our loss. The thing, and how would I pay tribute to Litemba? Firstly, let me just do the things that we enjoyed doing. I went to a second-hand shop for this coat, because Litemba was a thrifter. She loved second-hand shops, and I love second-hand shops. So we had this thing, Yoba, you and me, we can do this, So I was busy this week. Paying tribute to her is, I have to have something from a second-hand shop, And I got a mink. This is not fake, guys. This is mink. Okay? I got a mink. So we loved doing that. We loved having that. uLitemba is such a broad child. Ungumntana broad. And obabu broad bakufuna phi kumama wakhe. uZanele can walk with kings, but angayiluzi la common touch. uLitemba was like that. She was all embracing. uZanele, umama kaLitemba, is very embracing. Kekuthi to a fault, she's always having friends. And uLitemba learned that, embracing people is a spiritual gift, because kindness is a spiritual gift. uLitemba was a kind child, a smiling child. Uthandwa ngomakazi bakhe, uthandwa ngumuntu wonke uLitemba. And I thought about her personality. Let me dress according to Litemba. I decided to choose lace because she was delicate. She had that delicacy with her. She was delicate, and her personality delicate, ethanda abantu. And I had to have this mink, even though it's a real mink. I approve again because she's a human, that kind of person. But then she's also she's very rooted in her Africanness. Litemba is very rooted in Africanness through her art. Her art says she's rooted to Africanness. That kindness says she fights for the human rights. She fought for for women to be free. To be free. She could not. We had loads and loads of arguments about women being free and men allowing women the space just to be. And she also, Litemba was also an advocate for the queer community, the gay, and I don't know whether I'm politically correct when I say, for the gay and queer community. Her paintings reflect as such that she was the fighter of all those things that we are supposed to fight for. Litemba, when I thought about the personality, I suppose there was so much that was going through my mind. We had so many plans with Litemba. During the lockdown, we spent 12 months sihlala sonke on top of each other, fighting, did not do what she was supposed to have done. But we had so many plans, including going overseas. I'm not surprised by this residency as a Belfast because she was a hard worker, Litemba. During the lockdown, she rented a space, art gallery. And she used to go there every day. Work ethic was so high every day. And I would just say, Litemba, please don't come back late because that area is a little bit roughish for us older people. But she would go to the art gallery every day. I remember the time that she was supposed to have, submitted a project. She had to do miniature soldiers, 2,000 of them. I said, Litemba, are you going to be able to do this? She said, yes, Magazam, I'll do it. So she did a sculpture also, which I saw with my own eyes, which was beautiful. So she was a what do you call it? A multimedia artist, because she would take beautiful photographs. She used to go to taxi ranks just to understand the plight of ordinary people. I think she was writing a piece about the taxi industry and its successes and the way it has not allowed to be what it's supposed to be. Yes. So she would go and take photographs. So it takes a Rafanyana place, we're scared, but she would go and take photographs and create some of the most beautiful, articles about these things. She had this passion. She was born for art, and art was born for her. The way she carried on, she would just take a bottle of water and a slice of bread, and then she would go and spend the whole day at gallery. That is where her soul was fed. Art fed her soul. Art fed her very essence, her very being. I am not surprised, because Ukuku is an artist in the closet. Uzanel. Her mother is an artist in a closet. If you look at Uzanele, you can see that the restlessness soul of an artist. But Litemba uyithatha kwa imfuza yagqithisa ke. So she had this, she was preparing a project. She was applying for a bursary to go and do postgraduate in Germany. So they had these plans with Mpambani, cousin wake, that they're going to go to Germany, and Mpambani zabe naye sele egqibile diploma yakhe in music, where they were going to just, perfect their art, And sisithi ke thina the uncles, the aunts, we're going to go there, even if we squat, just to go and stay with you. So we're excited, we're very, very excited about this and about these achievements. We would sit on the table, we would talk about designing fabrics, we would talk about, going overseas, but she would always say, my home is here. I cannot write about the plight of our people if I'm overseas. Yes, it's okay, fine. Buy a flat in Paris, we'll keep it for you, because you're going to make loads of money. Buy a flat in Paris and we'll keep it for you. But she felt that she had to come to the people. They did programs with Sokushe where they were they were, you know, about women, violence against women. So she was all these things that she was so multi-layered, and she did not take that responsibility lightly. She was very serious about it. And it's amazing as forgive me if I'm all over the place, you know. But I thought of what I wanted to compare Litemba to a precious stone, because she was precious to us. She was precious to Mama, okay? She was precious to us. And I thought, okay, Baroque pearls. Baroque pearls. These are Baroque pearls. I had this, when I touched this, I thought about Litemba. Because these pearls are not perfect. They're not the round, you know, perfect ones. They pearls that are different shapes and different, you know, it comes in different shapes and different sizes, you know. So that Litemba most low. As they grow this way, as they grow this way. But the Baroque pearls are opposite of the traditional pearls. Litemba was no traditional girl. They are opposite of they are bold, you know. If you're wearing a Baroque pearl, then you have some boldness in your pearls. They are bold. They don't grow in those small, you know. They have different shapes, and these shapes. These shapes are around to fit in all styles. Litemba was fitting in all styles. Her multimedia, you know, ability made her to fit in photography, made her to fit in actual painting, made her to fit in other forms of art. And Baroque pearls cannot be assessed according to the standards that, you know, the normal pearls, the traditional pearls that are assessed. Litemba akuzomeasure njengabanye abantwana because she had her own standards, and they were high standards. Those standards, they were high standards. And Baroque pearls, as I said, they reflect the light more because they are flatter. They are not round. Litemba was that reflection of light. She was that reflection of light. She would reflect the light more because she had this shape that you could not actually get. And they are the most valuable, okay? For information, they're most valuable. So if you see Baroque pearls, know that if you get them, know that you're getting something that is valuable. That's why I'm comparing her to those pearls, because she had so much value. She had so much value. We don't understand why she's gone. We don't understand why she's gone. That's why I said initially, if Ibegulile would cry, Chukuthixo semazulwini asive, amxolele uLitemba, asixolele nathi. I wish to thank you, Zanele or Kuku, for allowing Litemba to be. For allowing Litemba to be the person that she has turned out to be. You are the free spirit that you mentioned here. And Litemba, you allowed her, through your free spiritedness, you allowed her to be what she wanted to be. You loved Litemba dearly, mntakamama. Your pain is our pain. But I can only imagine how you feel in Katina Sifil. But your child has done you so proud. Litemba has done you so proud. So walk tall, because you have done a good job. You have done a good job. Siyabacela amachonyano sawo ngomodikizo umthuzimele. Siyabacela ugakeni umama londondolo ngomuzi bomvu ba bawamkele umphefumulo wakhe, bamamkele uLitemba, bamamkele to their loving arms. Siyabacela umoya oyingcwele ba uhambe noLitemba, ingelosi zasemazulwini zimkhawulele, zimhage uLitemba. Ngalo mazwi bethunana siyanibulela, ndiyabulela. Nkosi.
Siyabulela sisimandisa. That was mouthful. Ndingakhange ndichithe xesha family yakwamama Mpambani. You know, sisimandisa, when he left the office, Thabo Mbeki said, "You don't need to feel despondent simply because today the weather is bad, and tomorrow you feel triumphant simply because there is sunshine." He said, all of us, we are in a race. There are those who complete the race. There are those who don't. But he said, those who do not complete the race, it is because they allow the fatigue to set in, convincing their minds that the road ahead is too long and the mountains are too steep, and they do not win the race. They do not complete the race. But those who complete the race, it is because others did not. That's how simple it is. Now, sizawucela uSiyanda Mpambani, Umbali, Tabata to dedicate this moment to their sibling, and over to them.
My sister was she was soft, but she was also very slow. She had agency for other things. I would reprimand her and be like, you know, when the revolution is happening, you're ready, you're running. But like when the dishes are happening, you're like, you know. So Ulitz, for me, she had a lot of duality, and it was good to see her become the person that she became. She taught me to step outside of myself when I allowed the voices inside my head take over sometimes. We were fortunate enough to be locked down together, and in that, I got the chance to truly get to know my sister. And even though I've lost her, I still have her with me. Makazi, you know Litemba, Nam, even though we are years apart, we became so close that and even the day she left to go back to school, I was like, what am I going to do alone? That feeling is even more now. I had a sister, and I was always jealous of my mother because she has 3 sisters. And in the last year, I truly felt like I have my own sister. You know, we grew up together, but I had my own sister now. And everywhere that I would go, they'd ask where she is. Everywhere that she'd go, they'd ask where I was. And I enjoyed that. And she taught me so much. The one thing that we shared was our love for Umsaki, the artist. And there's a song called Gibeli Nkwenkwezi that I feel is so important for this moment, because Umsaki says, bendimazi unyana wakho, nangakhweli phezu kwendlu egibeli inkwenkwezi. Ndiyamazi unyana wakho, nangakhweli phezu kwendlu egibeli inkwenkwezi. Emagwalandini nangamaphiko nizawubona izinto. And Litemba, she's gotten her wings. And what we saw now was nothing compared to the angel that she's going to become. You know, Umsaki ade athi babe ngikwazi ukuya esibhakabhakeni, babe ngikwazi ukubuyisa emhlabeni. I would do that. Litemba can't come back. And that's the one thing that we have to live with, and it's a painful part. Thanks, Baz. But in saying that, we now realize even more so that we shared her with a lot of people that also are receiving an angel. And amaphiko akhe azasibonisa izinto. Thank you, Magazi, for allowing me to talk, and thank you for everyone who's come to share our final moment with our sister while she's with us in the flesh. But I hope that you keep her in your hearts as an angel. And I mustn't forget, as an ancestor, because she spoke to Abantu Bokokwabo a lot. And now the dreams that I have, I won't have a sharing partner that we can compare notes about what do you think that means, you know? But keep her in your hearts, keep her in your memories, and more importantly, her death must not be for naught, because she was doing what she loved and someone ended that for her. But it's okay, because we have received her and we've loved her and she's loved us. My brother's now going to play a piece for Litemba, and I hope that I've been able to do justice to the person that I knew and I loved. Thank you.
Just going to do a short intro to the song. The song is Mandenberg by Abdullah Ibrahim. Litemba loved SA Jazz. And I don't share the same level of love for it, but I figured since she has passed and since she always encouraged me to play SA Jazz music, I'll play the song in honor of her. So this is Mandenberg by Abdullah Ibrahim.
Sisanele soze ndililiswe ngabantwana kodwa bayandililisa. Singakange sichithe ixesha, uyazi Mfundisi Magongo, there's a saying that says, in each and every cloud there is a silver lining. This is the moment of dedications from the University of Free State, Pro Arte School and the University of Free State. Friends, over to you guys.
Thank you, Program Director. I'll start by observing protocol, recognizing the leadership of the church, the family, friends, my colleagues as well, and everyone who was fortunate enough to have spent some time with Litemba in our lifetime. When we went through the program, we had a bit of an argument as colleagues that will this time allocation be enough to talk about the complexity of the character of Litemba, because we all knew her in different ways. When she occupied a space, she'd occupy it in whatever manner the space was required at the time. She's very close to Ayanda. So every time she'd come there at the SRC building and Ayanda is not there, she'd always complain to us as the SRC that we are overworking Ayanda and we are not doing anything. In that, she'd always be advocating for the voiceless. I had a speaker say that she'd always be advocating for the marginalized, the queer community, and every other, the alphabet community, I'm just getting memories of the time we spent with Litemba. when I prepared a speech when we came here, but when I entered the atmosphere, it just messed up with my emotions. Can I just please be pardoned for that? I don't know if it's safe to talk about the weekends that we've had in Bloemfontein. But no, I will talk about her academic excellence as well. Litemba was very much, she prioritized academics above anything, no matter where we'd be on a certain day. Maybe we're celebrating something or whatever the occasion the social occasion may be. No matter what time we come back, Litemba the next morning would say that she's busy working, and that is what we admired about her. She knew why she was in Bloemfontein. She'd never be consumed by the life in Bloemfontein. She'd ensure that she fulfills her academic commitments, prioritizing them. I mean, we're already making plans about graduation, what we are going to get up to as a group. It disturbs us, the occurrences as they happened, that just like that, someone who so dear to us is here today and gone tomorrow. But I want to reassure everyone who, especially our colleagues, they know how tirelessly we've been working to ensure that, unlike every other case that is just swept under the carpet, you don't take this one lying down. We are working around the clock to ensure that justice is served. Okay, we will not dwell on that. It's okay. I want to say to the family, we appreciate the efforts. I mean, when you come to the university, it's a space that is occupied by the haves and the have-nots. But I want to say that there's never been a time when Litemba could not fulfill anything because she did not have. And that is what I want to salute the family for. Litemba survived each and every day. Litemba managed to meet her academic commitments despite the ups and downs of the economy, despite having an occupying space with people who, remember now, us as black people, when we enter the space of the university, we are already disadvantaged. But there's never been a time when Litemba could not, because she had constraints that are above her. And I want to thank the family for that. And in this time of uncertainty, in this time where we are asking ourselves, where is God? In this time where we are seeking justice, I want to say to the family that it is in this time that we must draw nearer to God and not away from Him. I remember when Jesus in His ministry, when He was facing one of His most conflicted times, when He was facing crucifixion, He prayed, He asked, Father, if it is your will, can this cup just pass me by? I want to say to the family, fill the void of Litemba by drawing nearer to God. It is in this time that we must spend more time with Him. All the time allocations that we had with me calling Litemba, we can just take it in our sacred places of meditation. And there something will be revealed to you as a family. From us at the university, the SRC. We are with you. We are with you in prayer. We are with you in support. And we want to say that our door is open. Anything should the family need, we are here. Thank you.
Litemba was not just our friend. She was our supporter, our advisor, our most trusted chef, our teacher. We learned a lot from her through watching how she carried herself during the course of our friendship. We learned it was okay to always question the things around us, to be outspoken, and to be unapologetically ourselves. She made the world we knew bigger and changed the way that we viewed it. What we all had in common with Litemba was that we all came from the same background of hardworking parents who had a deep respect for education. This reflected in her academic merits, her drive, ambition, and passion for her craft. Our friendship group had different dynamics. However, whenever we were faced with challenges, we always knew that we could rely on each other for comfort and support. One of the qualities we admired about Litemba was that she was a visionary with a plan on how she'd achieve all of her goals. One goal that always stood out was the restaurant she'd own and name it King Zeus, after her late grandmother. Litemba used to panic when someone started crying in her presence. She'd say, "Don't cry like that. Don't cry like you've lost someone you love. This isn't death. You'll figure out a way to deal with this. Today should allow us to weep because we have lost someone we love. This is death." We little knew that day that God called your name. In life, we loved you dearly, and in death, we will do the same. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you did not go alone. Because part of us went with you. You left us with beautiful memories, and though we cannot see you, you are always with us, in spirit.
Wanga moya wakhe ungalala ngoxolo. Ngenxiba kaThixo avukelele uyisweni kwakukhala ixilongo. Sohlala sikhumbula mamtshonyane. Thizimele.
Firstly, I'd just like to say thank you for letting us be here. Litemba was a very dear friend to us. I'm Chelsea. I used to live with her in hostel, and we used to have design together. I'm also here with Katlego, who's one of her closest friends. Ria was one of her oldest friends, and Kabelo, who used to live with her since grade 8 in hostel. Litemba was the definition of poised. She was self-assured, she was soft, but with an unrelenting set of values that drew everyone in. I remember the first day I saw Litemba in our design class. She was in her element, with a walk that had rigor that led from her oversized jersey and rolled up cuffs of her blazer. Her paintbrush in hand, and a cup of tea was a staple. I remember even that day, because I was new in school, she's the first person that I asked, "Can I please be your friend?" She's like, Okay. She was good at speaking and stood for what she believed in. It was no surprise that she was born a leader. From the poetry club that she ran with Katlego, to being the president of the Rotary Interact Club, where we served places like Women Against Rape. We did multiple charity events. To quote one of her frequent figures of speech, "It is those that are crazy enough to think they can change the world that actually do." Litemba changed the world around her. She treated each and every friend and person as their own and never made assumptions about their character. Emulating her own light, she allowed the space and advocated for yours to shine. Between the jazzy tones of Beatenberg, Masaki, and Tandiswa Mazwai, you could always find her laughter. Drawing away while plotting her next project. In so many ways, she inspired, she expressed, and upheld talent. She was a true artist. It was only when Litemba spoke about home that we truly got to understand who she was. Her stories always included a nostalgic mention of how fast Mbali was growing and how much she misses him. Her talented and full of life sister, Sianda, her nieces, her nephews, and her aunts and uncles, and her mom, Ukuku, who was the strongest person she knew, and not to mention her grandmother, of which was an inspiration for almost all of her work. And not to mention the hours and hours of conversations we had about racks of lamb. This past Easter, she bragged about her first pickled fish, guided through by Sianda. And I couldn't wait to share roosterbrood with her. And so she brought home with her wherever she went. I was fondly told the story where she had sat everyone down while studying in Johannesburg, and she made them bunny chow from scratch. Apparently the kitchen was a mess. She had that about her, bringing the feeling of home wherever she went. She was a dear friend, a thought leader, a confidant, and a worldly talent, and she changed the world for each of us. In tribute to Litemba Mpambani, live life unafraid and intentionally. She will forever be remembered and loved. Thank you.
I hope, Funsum Hlondlo, you will agree that I am following the protocols. Family of Mpambani, you know, when Ustix Morewa was very loved by the former President Nelson Mandela. But unfortunately, for unforeseen circumstances, he found himself in trouble. It was the issues of corruption and stuff. Nelson Mandela decided to give him a call, and he said, "You know, Sticks, what is important is not the falling of the man, but it is the rising of the fallen man." Family Yagasusanen, you may regard this moment as a fallen moment, that God has forsaken your family. But we know from the bottom of our hearts that wherever Litemba goes, there will be no sunrise, no sunsets. Whoever owed her money, that debt will have to be scrapped, because wherever she goes, there will be no sunrise, no sunsets. Now I shall hand over to Okuhle Jasop to render the item yakhe. And where is Okuhle? Over to you.
Where you can like go outside, it's so awful. And it's fine, it's going to be fine. No, but as a woman, so much can happen. You can literally lose your life. You're not just going to get wrapped up and lose your shit. Things could like completely change for you.
Dear Litemba, the thought that I'm no longer going to see you again brings tears to my eyes, but I guess it's God's decision. Your friendship was a blessing and it still remains a blessing in spirit. I've been blessed to have called you family, and I've been honored to have witnessed your activism as a feminist through your artwork. Even though I might disagree with this unfair decision that God has made, I'm not meant to understand. Today is the day we lay you to rest, my dear friend. I want you to know that God only takes the best. Promise to look after us and save a spot up there for me. As I'm the only lost, my friend, I want you to know that I always love you. You are such a generous soul, full of so much life, with a bright future ahead of you. Rest easy, Litemba. Till we meet again. So is it?
So it feels odd, a little unreal knowing that we won't be around and our evening rendezvous with each debate and talk about everything and anything that we knew enough about. How does one begin to describe a life like Litemba's? How can I think up the words to describe you, a dedicated soul with a life of luxury ahead of her? Litemba enjoyed fine things in life, and she deserved all of them because she was an example to all of us that you should work for what you want in this life. Every time she came to town, she would have a job, something to do, some way to make money. She hustled and she made it look easy. Litemba loved her craft and she was dedicated to it. Although I never understood what the message behind some of her art was, I could tell it was compelling. Litemba, although soft-spoken, had an extremely strong personality. She was passionate and outspoken about everything she felt needed to be discussed. Every time we went out with Litemba, a debate would ensue, and I remember how Buddy and myself would watch my brother and Litemba go at it, and we would only get involved when we both felt that they were incorrect in their stance. We would end the night having learned something new about each other and our society. The last few days have been difficult. It's not easy saying goodbye to someone you thought would be present in your future endeavors. But I know that in order to celebrate your life accordingly, I will have to keep going and keep you in mind as I do so. Litemba was a free spirit. She knew who she was and wanted nothing more than to achieve her dreams and make her family proud. She was beautiful in all forms, and I appreciate her being my life. I will do my best to celebrate you and all that you have achieved in this life. I love you and I thank you for being unapologetically you and showing us how to be fearless and authentic in everything we encounter. I express my love through poetry, so in honor of Litemba, I have prepared something. I pray for my sisters, those who stand with me. I pray for my sisters, those who can't find their inner Antigone. Let them go, let my people go. As the rock you seem to strike, you may never know. She may cry, beg, and look as though she's given up, but the pain you seem to inflict is never enough. So shoot, gas, and wound the innocent. You will rise as one, as we are magnificent. Who is the woman you fight in hate? The woman that you fight in fate. She's strong, a muscular brain with poise and power. She's different, a warrior of courage, and her weapon a blossoming flower. She's you, the beauty that I preach in this holy serendipity. She's the world, the color that resonates and purifies the nation of humanity. Watching the Bafas, watching the world. Dalam Mokro Bafas, Litemba, Dalam Mokro.
Are you done now, Oguhle? Well, Sisanele, there is no other documentary proof about the hard work that your daughter was involved in. And this is also another evidence in that regard. There is a Latin saying that says, nil nisi terendo, which means there is nothing unless it is done through the struggle. She was indeed an activist in the field of fine art. When he concluded his work, J. Burles wrote a soapy titled Days of Our Lives. There is a caption in Days of Our Lives that says, like the sand through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Sis Zanele, it's time to let it go, and over to you. Are they gone? Shall we all rise? Liza lisiti galako tipongo si
Ndiyazibulisela enkonzweni. Ndiyabulisela kubafundisi abakhoyo apha nabazali, ii-colleagues zikaLitemba, ii-friends zikaLitemba ezilapha. Andiyazi uba ndithini namhlanje, ndithini ilizwi linye lithi landishiya ithemba lam. Landishiya ithemba lam. Ebendime ngalo ndikholose ngalo. Litshomi yam, liyinto yonke kum. Inhliziyo yam andiyazi uba mandithini na. Kodwa ke into inye endivuyisayo. Into inye endivuyisayo into yoba xa zisenzeka ezinto ebomini, they draw you closer to God. Ndithi ke ngoku ndiyasondela kuwe Thixo. Ndisondela ndisithi nguwe wedwa uzalisusela inxeba. Kuba kaloku linzulu inxeba loshiywa ngumntana. Linzulu bendingalazi uba linjena kodwa ithe yawufika kum ndaliva lisitsho ngaphakathi. Ndiyavuya ke kuba kaloku wonke umuntu uthetha into enye ngolithemba apha. ULitemba bekucacile uba he was not a two-faced person. ULitemba bengumuntu osenyanini. ULitemba bengumuntu beyile nto uniyibonayo. ULitemba ebengumntana uLitemba andimncoma kube ngumntanam. ULitemba bengumntana o-soft spoken but very strong. Strong kakhulu uLitemba, and she believed to be the voice for the voiceless. She believed to stand for abantu abangekwazi uzimela. And also the argument was always for the have-nots rather than for the haves. ULitemba, I would say ULitemba is a Pan-Africanist or black consciousness. Because ULitemba, the land issue was always on top of her mind. ULitemba, poverty was also part of what she was against. ULitemba indlala, beyibona indlala yenzekayo ebantwini, and it was affecting her. ULitemba ebebona how women are being treated. How women are being taken as subjects by men and being treated like nothing, as objects, as objects. And she didn't like it. And she did not sit down and just talk like all of us we are doing, because we're just talking and not doing anything. She took a stand, ULitemba. And ULitemba, when she decides to take a stand, akafuni ukuba popular. Akathandisi mntu because umelinyana. Ndithi ke ngoku namhlanje uLitemba nami undifundisile. ULitemba undifundisile that it is okay to be different. It is okay uba ungaphili kulaa bhokisi abantu babekele yona. Phuma ebhokisini so that you can see other things. So that you can see the world ngelunye uhlobo. And then you'll be able to understand other people that are not like you. Because thina sinento esithi xa abantu singaba-understand, sicimbe abo bantu abakho right. Whereas you do not understand. Or sometimes you don't even understand the story behind the story. Because there is a story behind whatever something is happening to that person at that time. And ULitemba was that kind of a person that cared. That took some time to understand a person. And ndiyanibulela abantwana basekhaya. Ndiyanibulela kakhulu. Because bendingekho mna ixesha elininzi ebomini bukaLitemba, bendiphangela ngaphandle. But God made it in such a way that apho uLitemba akhona bendifumana umsebenzi kuloo ndawo ndibe kufutshane noLitemba, ndikwazi umbona. Because uLitemba wonke esemncinci, uLitemba uye ibayazi uChelsea, bayazi. Ne? Bese bancinci abantwana befunde pro art grade 8 behlala boarding school. Bafunda abantwana and bazimela singekho thina singabazali. Naba ngoku apha, naba abantwana bakhula bexhuma ngoku because one of them is gone. Bakhula bexhuma be-understanda into yoba Asinalo ixesha, we don't have time. Time, ayilo lethu. So whatever you can, you must do. Whatever you do, you must know that there is no time. Because you don't know ba ungomso kuphathele ntoni na. Thina sithe sisajongile wavutha umlilo. Wavutha umlilo sisabuka because uLitemba was our light. uLitemba had light inside of her. That when she comes into the room, there will be light in that room. And uzakwenza into yoba in a quiet fashion though. In a quiet fashion. But she always brings light wherever she is. So bantwana bam, ndiyavuya ndifumenele nyoba, ndithi iqineni, ibambeni into eniphathisiwe ningayeki. Ningayeki i-leadership. Because ndiyava ngoba kuthetha i-leaders phaya. Uyeva uba kuthetha future leaders phaya. What we want lele, waphinda, Chelsea, what we want is you guys to be the leaders and not to be the leaders that are sitting down and waiting for people to do things for you. The leaders that are taking a stand. Zisebenze. Yekon? So ndithi ke ngoku ngale mina namhlanje Litemba ndiyayibulela iCovid nami. Ndiyayibulela iCovid Litemba because the COVID has given me time to be with you. Has given me time to understand you better. Because besingavumelekanga basiye ndawo. So ekugqibeleni nezinto ezincinci besingazi-understand about each other siye sazi-understand. So ngolo hlobo ndiyethi ke thank you for the time. Thank you for the life. Thank you for teaching me izinto ebendingazazi. Thank you for everything that you've done. For your dedication. Because you've never worked hard because you were doing what you love. It was not an effort for you to go to school. It was not an effort for you to touch a paintbrush, paint. It was not an effort for you to sculpt because it was you. Because being well at him. So, and yes, man, I don't know, but can do Nkosini bantwana, ngiyabulela abafundisi bami, ndiyabulela Nkosini.
I guess Imarimba has left now. All what is remaining from me is to hand over kumfundisi uMagongo agqibezele what is due to Litemba. Uthi William Shakespeare xa ethetha ngobomi uthi life is like a stage of the theater whereby an actor will have to come and play his role regardless of the length of that role. The curtains will be closed and he disappears. So it was with uLitemba. Culo 23. Uzalihlabela ngokwakho mfundisi.
Kamelo iselo nyana nelo moyo ingcwele amen. Qala manibulise kwe-rector walapha All Saints, Mfundisi uMhlonhlo, kuwe Mfundisi uDibrain, Mfundisi uGoga, Mfundisi uMiligo, nakuwe Mfundisi, umuntu wonke okhoyo apho uzokhapha uLitemba, family kaLitemba yakwaMpambani, izihlobo nezalamane. First and foremost, Mfundisi, I want to thank God for giving me a task endingazange ndakhe ndayifumana. I-task kuthiwe go and break news ezibuhlungu zosweleka komntana. Was approached by the uncle of Litemba Monde Makula on Sunday morning. Kufa liqheliku. Family yakwaMpambani yonwabile Friday, yonwabile Saturday nomsebenzi ekhaya. Kanti kuzawuthi gqi isigidimi esithi uLitemba is no more. And uthatyathwe ngesikuphe ingozi. And I heard about all other members ziyayazi umama kaLitemba akazi. I heard ba ndiyothetha nomama kaLitemba ndimxelele uLitemba kasekho. Uthixo wantwatha ndakwazi ukuyothetha noma kaLitemba kukho inzima injalo kodwa wanthwala. Waphinda uThixo wandenzela isimanga. Yemke ifamily kaLitemba siya kwi-University of Bloemfontein. Le family simane siyikhangela nonkosikazi niphi ngoku nihamba njani. Bade bafika. We had a good report esixolisayo. But into endothusileyo bathi sizawulala ndandiqala uyivi-university kuthiwa ine-hotel. Kathiwa e-University of Free State ine-hotel. Sorry, I did not greet the students of the University of Free State and the staff. I assume the ladies were here, staff members of that university, I'm not sure. I'm also greeting you. Ndahlelwa sisimanga esingazange sindehlele, and I could not say no. I felt God is speaking. Yathi le family, Mfundisi Magongo sicela usingcwabele umntana wethu. I could not say no. I could not say she's not a member of my church. I want to my church to report with council. Mfundisi uDibrain is one of the members of the council. They said, Mfundisi, azizo akujongi kuphela izimvu ezilapha ebuhlantini. Zikho nezinye ezilapha kubuhlanti. It is your task uyosebenza nakwi-community. Ungabujonga ba uyitikiti uzibhatele na. Uyimemba yecawana ndafumana ndavuya ndabulela ecaweni yam. Ndavunyelwa ba hamba umngcwabo mntana kaMpambani. And I felt God is saying something to me. Ndavuya ke uthetha uThixo nam, ndavuya uthetha people age. Noba ndingakhangeleka ingathi ndiyipunge ndiliqheko. And this is the age akhe wabhosta ngayo noPawulos ekhayisela i-spiritual stand sakhe uTimothy wathi mna sendithululwa okomnikelo simele kule age mfundisi uDibrain sithululwe okomnikelo abantu baphile kuthi ungathi ulichekwa kuphilwa kuthi mandelizweni lothuthuzela lefamily ilizwi lethu sifumana igospel according to St. John chapter 11 verse 26. Ipha kwi-New Testament igospel kaSt. John. And ukuba wayengazanga umkhululi wethu ngengekho iNew Testament ngebengekho nabantu abazibiza bangamaKristu kasike beza uKristu phaa beqala iNew Testament kuqala iNew Testament kwiBhayibhile kuqalwa ngeegospel ezine. Gospel according to St. Matthew, Gospel of St. Mark, Gospel of St. Luke, and the fourth one is the Gospel of St. John. All these Gospels, Fundis Udibrain, are speaking about the life of Christ. Nobuya kuMateyu kubaliswa ngobomi bukaYesu. Nobuya kuLuka, nobuya kuSt. Mark, nobuya kuJohane kubaliswa ngobomi bukaYesu. But kwahluka ii-approaches. Matthew portrays Jesus Christ as the king. Hence igama elithi kingdom and king lixhaphakile kula gospel. It is because Jesus is portrayed as a king. You go to Mark, uMark umjonga uYesu, but this man is humble and he's a hard worker, but this is a servant. Sisikaka konqeni. Wajonga eququzela uYesu emhlabeni. Ephilisa abantu, etyisa abantu balambileyo, eququzela. Wajonga uMark wathi, sisikaka. Wayommaketha kubantu abakhutheleyo amaroma. uMark wayethunywe bamakayoshumayela kumaroma. Then amadoda ethanda ne-philosophers ethanda ukhotha kwi-market squares. The Greeks kafuneka uyibambe into ozayithetha kubo. Kathunyela uThixo uyakwazi ukwenza into zakhe. Waqonda makathumele indoda engathi ifundile phaa, wathumela ugqirha uLuka. Wathi ngunyana womntu, the son of man. uJohane yena umjonga ethi ngunyana kaThixo lo. Ubona izinto azenzayo athi ngunyana kaThixo lo. And nezinto azijongayo azenzayo uzijonga azijonge azibona zifani nezinto ezenziwa by ordinary people. And babhidwa abantu basehlabathini nguYesu because Jesus had the divine nature as well as human nature. Wathi nguThixo weza emhlabeni in the form of flesh. Wazinyama. Babhidwa abantu bathi mabadilishana nomntu kanti badilishana noThixo. Lithi ke eli lizwi sizawukhapha ngalo uLitemba konke abadla ubomi bekholwa kum abasayi kufa naphakade. Everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die. Ufike isigidimi imessage kuYesu ethi uLazaro umthandayo uyafa. uLazaro ke ubhuti kaMartha noMaria. uMaria laseke wamthambisa ngamafutha akholiweyo uYesu, wamsula iinyawo ngeenwele zakhe. Wayethanda ke uYesu le family yakuLazaro, uMartha noMaria. Why? Because babekholiwe kuye. Babekholiwe kuye. uYesu adumdelise ngokufikile le message. Adumdelise for 2 days. Dumdelise. Athi ezi sifo asiyelelanga kufika. Singena kuzukulu kaThixo ukuze unyana kaThixo ondim azukwise. Awugqiba udumdelise iphele 2 days aye kubafundi bakhe athi iza kuya kwaYuda apho ebizwa khona eBethani. Bethani was a small town, not very far from the capital town yakwaYuda, iJerusalem. Athi ndiyaya. Bathi abafundi bakhe, Rabi, uphandle ukuqulutywa nje kwayo, uyofuna ntoni phaya? uYesu nendlela yakhe yophendula. Uthi imini ayathiwazi hours eziyi-12 na. Umuntu ohamba emini akakhubeki kuba uhambe ekukhanyeni. Ohambe ebumnyameni uyakhubeka kuba ukukhanya kukho. UmKristu akakhubeki zizikhubekisi kuba uhamba ekukhanyeni, uhamba noYesu. uYesu kukukhanya. Hence engadibani uYesu nento ezi-evil, ukukukhanya. Amademoni wabhekelisa phaa because ukukukhanya. Etshetshi, I think naseRoma naseTopiya, xa kuthethwa ngoYesu kwezi colours zisetyenziswayo, kusetyenziswa ikhala emhlophe. uYesu umelwa ikhala emhlophe for purity, because uYesu akanasono, weze emhlabeni engenasono ezofela izono zethu. Wahamba wathi esendleleni ehamba wathi masihambeni siyokumvusa umhlobo wethu lele. Abaqonda abacinga uba uthetha ukuthi ulele ubuthongo. But ufile uLazaro. uThomas onokholo olu-questionable uthi hayi ke masiye siyofana naye nathi. I think intetho leyo yomntu ongakholwanga ncam. Ikho laa nto uye ecaweni kulibona idada liyakwazi ungena emanzini kodwa aphume ngapha yalidry. Uyakwazi uye ecaweni ingakuncedi. Xelisa abafarasi nabasadusi babele kuYesu, babehamba iqhawa kodwa befana namadada. Emleka kho esenza into uYesu, bakhangela into abanomphikisa ngayo. wavuma taba uyesu usendleleni wathi mandingalinda apha ekhaya ndimlindele mandimkhawulele kube ne-confidence kuyesu emthembile uyesu waguqa phambi kwakhe wathi ukuba ubukho mntakwethu ngengafani athi ndimuvuko ndimubomi dot athi bonke abantu bekholwa kum abasayi kufa athi uyakholwa nakom athi ndiyakholwa ukuba nguKristu unyana kaThixo endiyakholwa nomntanasekhaya uzavuka ngomhla wovuko athi gugu abaleke aye endlini apho ebekhoyo uMaria usister wakhe athi umfundisi ukho iyabhisa aphume lila elandelwa ngamayuda nawo ayelila la ayelapha eqimba uMarta uyolila phezu kwengcwaba likaLazarus kanti ukhawulela uYesu apho kule femeli ubonakala ukuba nyhani bakholwe kuye kukho i-consistency laa nto ibithethwa nguMartha uyayithetha naye uMary athi babukho mntakwethu ngengafanga athi nimbekephi atsho elila ahlekise amayuda because there are people abathanda uhlekisa ngeengxaki zabanye abantu ahlekise amayuda xa imbona uyesu elila athi yiseni engcwabeni awufika phezu kwalo athi susani ilitye athi uMarta selenuka kuba kuntsuku-4 simgcwabile funa ukuthi ende ndiyibhaqile yenzekile loo nto ndifuna ukuthi kunikuko isuseni ilitye nimkhulule umntana nizivule inhliziyo zenu for uThixo asebenze ezinhliziyweni zenu anipha amandla wajonga phezulu wathandaza athi ndiyabulela Thixo kuyabulelwa kuThixo uba undivile bendisazi uzandiva uqhela undiva lisusu litya khwaze Lazarus phuma aphume ebotshwe izandla neenyawo athi mkhululeni nimyekanga nani ke femeli funa ukuthi Litemba benimthanda kodwa mkhululeni nimyekanga kakade bengengoweneni mboleki ubuyela umuntu abhilonga kuye uGod creator yethu amazwi mawasandele ngoYesu Kristu inkosi yethu amen.
Culo 236 ndicela mfundisi umhlonhlo usondele 236.
Yeah.
Upper Sanctuary, we have participated. Ngaphandle kaMfundisi uGorha ozawuparticipate emangcwabeni. Nani, we will request your participation in terms of donations, whatever that you have towards this family. Here is isitya. Esa sitya ubeka noba 2 cents, noba intoni, just a collection towards the family. That's the culture that we Africans normally do. Yababona naba no Mr. Mazondwa, no Auntie Bampaya, sizazobeka apha ke ngoku. Whatever that you have, you can continue with this song. And Petana Mari. May the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ that surpasses all our understanding could keep our brains and our hearts in knowing and loving the Lord Jesus Christ. May the blessings of the Father, of the Son, and that of the Holy Spirit rest upon all of us now and forever. Amen, 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 dear. Amen, Enkosi singahlala phansi kwesi sithuba sawucela umuntu okhutshwe ikhaya ukuba abulele enje njalo iprogram yamayikho phambi kwam. Enkosi uyazazi mos umuntu okhutshwe ikhaya Umonde Maqhula. Over to Umonde.
Program Director, umfundisi The Brain, umfundisi uMagongo, Nyawo Zawuthahla, uRector osiboleke le nkonzo inhle kangaka, umfundisi uGorha, abefundisi nabefundisikazi abakhoyo, amagosa nabavangeli abakhoyo apha namhlanje, ifamily yasekhaya, odadobawo, omakhulu, omakazi nomalume, students zase-UOFS ezithe nazo namhlanje mazizogcwala emswaneni, abantu bethuna bokuhlala baseBhayi aba-includa omelwane ngegama likaYesu umfeli wethu mandinibulise ngale tsasa. Ndithunywa ifamily mfundisi uThe Brain, into encinci enkulu yokuba ndithe enkosi. Baba ke yangamthahla benza into ohlala phantsi. Kodwa ke thina amaXhosa sinento ba umbulisi lento xa sibulela mfundisi uThe Brain simane sifala namafrele sikwazi ukhanya but I think ifamily yasekhaya ibe nenhlahla ukuthi isebenzisane nabantu base-UOFS. Special thanks to umama kuthiwa nguNoluthando Hlophe, ehamba nomfo apha kuthiwa bangamfu uRicardo. Please convey our sincere gratitude. They have helped us indeed. From Mfundisi uThe Brain ukwehla kwesisehlo salenzwakazi elitshantliziyo abayekanga unxulumana nathi bade bawusilindela bathi sanilindele egeyithini xa nisize eBloemfontein. They took us through, basisa kwama-boardroom, basisa nalaa ndawo wehle kuyo le ngozi. Mfundisi uGorha benza nezinye izinto besingazilindelanga. Sithi xa sithetha nomfube wam phaa usisa Thabane sithi heyi zange siyibone into enje. How I so wish that the other universities can do the same. But thanks very much even to you guys traveling all the way from Bloemfontein to come here and say goodbye to your fellow Chantliziyo. Thanks very much. We want to thank again Mfundisi Magongo. Ezinye izinto Mfundisi Magongo afuna sizithathe for granted. Xa ndifika phaa ndifika usangqengqini. Ilizwi lakho unefiva ungaphilanga. But when usiva umyalezo onjeni wena nomama wakwakho you stood up wathi awukwazi ungaya kukuku kuzanele. Thanks very much. Ifamily yabulela Mfundisi Magongo. Ngoba sithe Mfundisi Magongo naxa sihambile siye Bloemfontein sabuya safika ulapha siyothatha umphefumulo sabuya Mfundisi Magongo safika upha. Wasamkela wena noMfundisi Maqanda. Thanks very much Mfundisi. Iyabulela ifamily Thali. Sifuna ubulela kwakhona. Special thanks to friends, relatives, ngakumbi bantu bakuthi ningayithathi for izinto fana. But I think abanye abantu abafana noSikhumbuzo, they've played Sikhumbi a big role. Osiyanda neqela lakhe, uJunk, uSibongiseni, naye noKhanyisile, I think they've played kunjenje kungenxa yakho Siyanda neqela lakho. We thank you very much and we really appreciate family what you have done Siyanda. Siyabulela. Sibulela komakhulu nakomakazi. Siyayazi all of you guys ngihle lapha nje, you were not just umakazi, beningomama. Ngelishwa ke kanye ngethamsanqa uLitemba ebenomakazi abaninzi nyanyani because ukuku bingumuntu wabantu. Isisters zakhe ngabantu babantu. So ukuku have made uLitemba has brought omakazi abaninzi in the life of Litemba. Siyanibulela bethuna ngokumsupporta uLitemba, ngokumsupporta ukuku, ngokumthanda uLitemba, ngokumthanda ukuku. Ubukho bende bomini babo, we really appreciate it. Sifuna khona kulento ukubulela bonke abantu relatives nesihlobo esoko eMaBloemfontein nabo Thandiso besuka eMpumalanga. Baninzi bethuna abantu basoko Kapa, abanye basuka eGauteng, abanye basoko eTranskei, abanye basoko eMakukasko, eMagradoko, Northwest, bona izihlobo zikakuku ezilapha esuka eRustenburg. Nazo siyazibulela kakhulu. Thanks very much guys for taking time nizo gcwala emswaneni nathi. Sibulela kakhulu omelwane bethu oba uMazomba nosapho lwakhe nalibona abandamthiche. Naye uthe xa esiva lo myalezo wakhaleza wangena wathi hayi ndizogcwala emswaneni nani. Nabanye wethu omelwane abandababonile apha bakhoyo. Inkxaso yenu isenze somelela siyifamily. Uthixo anisekele nenze lento niyenzile ukuthi nakuminye imizi. Cousin bakhe Umbali, thanks very much for andiyalangoma but imnandi. Mbali, thanks very much. Wena Umbali ke Thahla siya owana noMbali. Sizayixoxa yazi ma uThixo anisekelele mfundisi wami. Lastly but not least, ndiyafuna Mfundisi Magongo sibabulela abamama abaphekayo apha ekhaya. Ngoba ifamily ithi xa nisuka apha eMadlakeni ePapenkale nihambe bethuna niyojike lapha nikwazi ufumana amanzi ususa othuli. Niyayazi ke ba kukho lo mcimbi ukhoyo bawakhumsha ke lento asizukwazi uhlala ixesha elide. Sawufumana nje ezo packs basazifumana sikwazi ukukhululeka. Ngeba siyafuna uhlala nani kodwa ke iyayazi imeko esiphethe njani na. I think babu mfundisi wami the brain ingathi ndibugqiba apha. Yeah, I think the mfundisi wami I think. Just to say thank you very much to everybody. Inkosi mfundisi.
Cela siphakame. Mfundisi uMhlonhlo. Mfundisi uMhlonhlo, just remind you again. Tata Maqhula, nansi donation. Take us through.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Mine is just to remind us as we going out now that siza kuba nomzimba uzawukhokelwa ngabefundisi. So samcela ke nomfundisi umam as we acknowledge her so that uzojoin the entourage of the clergy. Xa sikhokela ke umzimba. Also izitulo ezilapha kwelicala, the chairs that are on the aisle this side, if they may be moved so that at least there is no congestion. We also remind people that are here present that umzimba uza kulandelwa yifamily. Abanye, they will need to stay put in their chairs. They will be directed accordingly because funena xa siphumayo sicingele umcimbi we social distancing. All right? Otherwise, thank you very much, Mfundisi. Be blessed. We also request the pallbearers to come. The pallbearers to come and join us.
Thank you.